Hi, today we're going to be talking about Chapter 9, specifically 9A in all your assignments. Please remember that there is also a Chapter 9 homework video that walks through each of the sections of exercises, so it shows you how to do them and what I'm expecting from those. So that's a help. And yeah, we'll get to some other helps later. So Chapter 9 is deductive reasoning. It's our second foray into that, but it's a different way of looking at things called categorical logic. 9.1, we're going to look at statements and classes. In 9.2, we're going to look into translations and standard forms. And then 9.3, we're going to do categorical statements, diagramming them. So what I've done up here is I've kind of separated these out so that you can see this is A, this is B, this is C, and then this is D. And so I'm going to walk through each of these in separate videos, and so you'll have lots of things to think about. I'm going to walk through the first part in Chapter 9, and then we'll kind of go on from there. So in Chapter 9, just like in Chapter 8, we do not have any new big words for the test, so it's the same big words that you had on the Unit 2 test over Chapters 4, 5, 6, and 7. And yes, yeah, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And I still have some folks who are giving me dictionary and or Google answers for the big words. Don't do that. Don't do that. Use the ones that are in the book. You can get them from the glossary, you can get them from the chapters, you can get them from my notes, but please, please, please don't get them from Google. You get 0 points for that, okay? And there are 13 of them, so that's 65 points out of whatever, you know. Anyway, don't do that. Follow the directions. Okay, Chapter 9, we're looking at how to shorthand or translate these arguments into much simpler forms so that we can work with them more efficiently. And really what we're doing is we're weeding out the ones that are impossible, that are going to be invalid in some way. And so we're trying to, like I said, shorthand between the sentences and the actual argument. So it's kind of fun. I think it's kind of fun. It's a little code. It's not hard. It works the same way all the time, and you hear me say that a lot in the Chapter 8 videos. Venn diagrams even more so. They look the same every time. They work the same every time. If you have one of the 4 forms, we'll get to that in a little bit, they're going to look the same on the graph every single time. Okay, so don't make stuff up. Follow the directions. It's all the same all the time. Okay, so when we're looking at propositional logic, our truth table logic, it's statement by statement. Okay, when we're looking at categorical logic, we're looking at the relationships within a sentence, and it's a specific kind of sentence, one that we love. No. So we're going to look at those, and because this is a deductive reasoning, we're going to be looking for validity again. Slightly different way to get there, but still, is this valid? And the only way it's valid is if our premises are true and our conclusion is true. Okay, so we have to get to that part too. Okay? Categorical statements are simple assertions about categories or classes of things. Okay? And the one I love to play with all the time is this: all cats are carnivores. Hold on, the airplane's taken off in the other room. I'm going to shut this door. Slightly better as far as noise goes. Okay, so in this particular sentence, we have all cats are carnivores. This happens to be an A statement, but we're going to get to that in a little bit. I'm going to work through this and show you how they work in just a little bit. But if you think about it, cats is a category, okay? And carnivores is a category. Okay, so if we're trying to think about things that are carnivores, cats are definitely in that set, right? So all cats are carnivores. If you doubt that, ask me about the scars on my arm. We have a yellow, orange cat. That's what everybody calls it nowadays. Yeah, he thinks I'm his chew toy. So let's see. We use this kind of putting together logic all the time to tell whether or not something belongs where it is and when things do belong. So 9.1, statements and classes. The words in categorical statements that name classes or categories of things are called terms. Each categorical statement has both a subject term and a predicate term. Okay, and I'm going to keep writing on this guy. So we have a subject term, which we term S. Okay, that's the thing that comes before this linking verb are. And then this is the predicate term, carnivores. Okay, so far, you might be getting flashbacks to grammar class from elementary school, but still, here it is. Okay. This kind of statement. Okay, so then we translate this a little bit. We shorten it up like we did with the if P then Q stuff. So all cats are carnivores is all S are P. Okay. If you're typing on the computer, make sure you put spaces there because otherwise it tries to make it spell a real word. Okay. So we have 4 standard statements. Okay. And it's there on page 288. All SRP, all cats are carnivores. No SRP, no cats are carnivores. Some SRP, some cats are carnivores, and some S are not P, some cats are not carnivores. So when we're looking at these statements, they have different portions to them. Okay, so we already know we have a subject term and a predicate term. Okay, we have 2 other words here. Let's see, this is yes. This part is called the copula. I don't use that term very often, but anyway, a copula is just a bridge or an arch from one place to another, and so that's your linking verb, right? Are, okay, and they're joined. Okay, are not. The fourth part. Anyway, yes, the fourth part is the quantifier. This is here. Okay, this is your quantifier. Okay, subject term, copula, predicate term. Ta-da-da! Okay, now part of this is also the quality. Okay, and quality is basically, is it all or no? Those are universals, right? If all cats are carnivores, it's a universal truth. Okay, cats are carnivores. If no cats are carnivores, then that's another universal truth that none. Okay, the quality and the quantifier or the quantity, depending on what he's talking about, are the same thing, but they do different things. They signify different things. So, one word having 2 possibilities, yeah, we're okay with that. The other quality is the some and not some. We're supposed to say some. This is particular, okay? And by particular, we mean at least one. So if I say some cats are carnivores, I mean I know at least one cat that is a carnivore. If I say some cats are not carnivores, that means I know at least one cat that's not a carnivore. Okay, so that's kind of how those things work, and that's a little bit there. The other thing here is we have all and some, so 3 things. These are affirmative, okay? They say yes. Now, is that what they're telling me this word is? Sorry. I have 3 different things. Yeah, affirmative, okay? So then the no and some are not is negative. okay? So we have a universal affirmative is all cats are carnivores. A universal negative, no cats are carnivores. And then the some cats are carnivores, affirmative, particular. And then some cats are not carnivores, particular, negative. Okay, so there's a lot of little pieces here to kind of keep track of. And at times they're very useful, but it's just a matter of getting the vocabulary down. Okay. And he walks through that a little bit more in more detail here on page 289. So here's your big sentence. Seriously. Something important to remember, even if it's obvious, all categorical statements should fit into one of those 4 standard forms. And all statements that do fit in have the same form. Okay? So let me get rid of some of this. I'm going to get, okay. So if I have 4 types, just like in learning the truth tables, you had those 4 givens, you know, the conjunction, disjunction, negation, and conditional. Here, we're going to call them A, E, I, and O. Okay, so just the vowels, but not you. So this is an A statement. Oh, I need to use a better marker. Huh? Can you see that? I don't think you can see that. We're going to go with this other one here. Don't worry about the color yet. Okay, that's an A statement. It's also, we call it a universal affirmative. Okay, then we have the E statement. No cats are carnivores. And same S and P, but then we are, oh, I forgot to make that in there. No SRP. Okay, that's my sentence, that's my translation, standard form, whatever you want to call it. Okay, this is a universal negative. Because we're saying there are no cats on the planets that are carnivores. Okay, I'm going to put this here. This is all SRP. You don't need that period there. Okay, the next one, the I statement. Some cats are carnivores. Am I doing that right? Yes, okay. So again, we have our S and our P. Some S, R, P. So it is a particular, because it's some. And it says R, so it's a particular affirmative. Okay? So far, so good? And then A, E, I, O. Some cats are not carnivores. And again, same deal. S, P, some S, R, not P. Okay, and this is another particular because we have a some, particular negative. Okay, because it's not P. Now, I want you to write these down, live with them a little while. Part of this is just like part of the truth tables. The relationships work out the same every single time. So they look the same in the truth table. They look the same. They look the same on a Venn diagram. They are the same all the time. So anything that you get that fits this all SRP is a universal affirmative. Okay, it's an A statement. That's the other way we talk about them. Okay, they're all the same all the time. Bottom of that 289. And really, this is it. Okay, not hard, a little weird, but once you have things in your head, so you have 4 statements, 4 classes of things, 4 statements. So you have this all SRP, no SRP, I'm just putting boxes around the actual translations, some SRP, and then some S are not P. Those 4 statements are it. Those are the only ones we can work with. They're the only ones that are going to work in our format. And when we get to the next section, I'm going to show you how they draw out, how we diagram them basically. And an A statement is always going to look a particular way. An E statement is always going to look a particular way. They don't change, okay? Don't try to make it easier or harder, just follow, okay? So I hope that helps you a little bit with section 1, section A. Your exercises for that are on page 290, and you have a homework video to show you how to do this. Please, please, please watch a little bit at the beginning so you can see how to do this the correct way. Make sure you're answering all the parts of the question so you get full credit, okay? Have a great day. I hope this helps. If you have questions, you know how to get a hold of me. You have my email.